the sodding and the landscape, I'm sure Michelle has gone over that with how much you can.
I have no idea.
Okay. What we can do is look at 121 down there. It's sodded and got the landscaping around it. It kind of gives you a general idea of what is what as far as the sod and stuff. Are you having a bad day too?
You cold?
Are you having a bad day too?
She's cold. You want me to warm you up? You have to sit my lap. You can warm me up. You feel warm to me.
She's 4.
She's 6.
6. Okay, she's small for 6. I got a 7-year-old at home that's a little bit taller than her. Well, it's my girlfriend's 7-year-old. So. We'll look at this when we go down. We can look at one of the other houses.
Okay. And that's to explain what's provided.
Yeah.
Okay. The other thing I had mentioned on the phone is we want to know, when and for the purposes of sprinklers and things like that.
Okay, the house has just been framed. It's got the shingles on it. There's roughed the plumbing in yesterday. HVAC is supposed to be out today or Monday to do that, and then the electrical will go in toward the end of the week. So we're looking at break first of next week. That's what we're looking at. Usually after brick, we start trying to get our inspections, our rough plumbing, rough mechanicals, and the electrical, the low volt, and the framing. Once it goes into from framing pass, we'll do the insulation. We have to do the insulation inspection and get that passed, and we'll stock it with drywall. When we stock with drywall, we'll start putting driveway in. We'll start grading the outside and everything. I don't like to put the landscaping and the sod in until just before Steve does his QA, which is a quality assurance walk that we do on the house. It's Steve kind of acts like the homeowner and goes in and sees things, he writes it down, gets it back to me, we fix it, and then they'll do the PCO. Usually I have to have it in before he does his QA, and I usually don't like to put it in like a week to 3 days before he puts it in.
So we're looking a month from now?
Roughly, okay. Yes. So.
But I don't know what the options are, or who we talk to, or what it costs, or we don't know.
I think Michelle was discussing. I was in here the other day when Michelle and Bruce were talking to you, and your mom and dad.
Right.
I can get you a better answer on Monday or Tuesday. Let me get with Michelle and Bruce, and we'll sit down and figure out what we need to do.
Okay.
And I'll get Michelle to call you or send you an email.
Okay.
Does that work?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Exterior concrete review, we've been talking about that. You will have a sidewalk in the front yard here. You will have a sidewalk that connects the driveway to the front porch.
Okay.
And you do have the bigger porch.
Is there a connection?
No.
There's only up the driveway?
Up the driveway and around. Okay. From the city sidewalk out to the street is not aggregate. It is broom finish concrete, because the driveway approach and the sidewalk has to go by the city.
Okay.
That way, if they have to tear it out for some reason to get to an electrical line or a water line, they can put it back. They don't have to worry about pressure washing, saying, hey, can we use your water to pressure wash it? So basically from the approach, and I can show you, we've got a couple of driveways poured down there. I can show you now. Look, it basically looks just like that right there. You see how it's just regular concrete, then it goes into the aggregate. Because that's basically what it's going to look like there. So, the patio we're going to talk about, and then what they call the lead walk here is from the driveway around the house up to the front porch.
Okay.
And it usually stays 3 foot off the house. And there'll be landscaping and mulch in here, as well as in here between. And then you'll have some in front of the porch and down this other side here, landscaping wise. So, like I said, I can show you lot 121 down there. It's the same house, and it has the bigger porch on it as well, like this one. We've got 2 elevations that kind of match a little bit in some aspects, and some aspects they don't. Just 2 and 3 they kind of match a little bit, but they're not the same. So, the drainage. And what this is saying right here, the lot drainage. What we have to do when we final grade the yard is we have to put what they call a swale in order to keep water from just settling against the house. Because the last thing you want is for water to be coming into the house.
Right, off that hill.
Off the hill or anything. So somewhere in the backyard here.
Does it need to be this close? Could it be back here?
Well, like I said,
I don't know what the grading is.
somewhere in the backyard here. I cannot tell you exactly where right now because we're not to that point with the house. There will be a swell. It's not going to be a big valley or a big gully or anything. It's just be a taper in the land and then it'll come back up a little bit. It's nothing real deep. It'd be real easy to mow over and everything and easy to walk through.
Does anybody ever do a pathway to their back patio?
I don't recall anybody doing that before closing. I'm not even sure that we would allow that.
Really?
I'm not sure. Because they took me out of here and put me over another subdivision, and I'm not sure about the phase 3. I've been back over here for a month, so I'm still trying to pick back up over here. But we'll check on that.
I don't know that nobody's brought that up.
Right.
I'm just thinking
I just mentioned
and
this.
you heard a bulk of the conversation the other day about electrical and how one of the goals today is for me to go and look at one of the substantially complete homes and see where those outlets generally are, and so that we can let you know where additional outlets and can lights.
I do remember that. Yes, I do. Drainage. Now, your downspouts off the gutters, they do have splash blocks.
Okay.
A lot of people's misconception of a splash block is a splash block is made to contain water. It's got an open end on it, but 3 sides of it are closed in.
It's made to divert it.
It's made to divert it, correct. But a lot of people will take the closed end and turn it around and put it against the house.
Nope.
And you just wash your yard out. We need to leave those turned around where the open end is against the house, and it slows it down as the way it doesn't wash.
Oh. Well, just pretty soon. You want to go have a cookie? You can have a cookie. I'm checking it out. So I was wrong. So that end thing is not. I thought it was to hit and then send it that direction away from the house.
It is, but
why then do you have the closed end on the opposite side?
Because if it hits and you send it away from the house,
yeah,
in a rush like that, you know how rushing water will erode.
Yeah. Okay.
The closed end of it hits it, it slows it down, and it allows it to roll over it, and it doesn't wash the dirt out. Don't feel bad.
Never knew that.
Don't feel bad. I just found that out 2 months ago.
Now I'm gonna go home and turn mine around.
Because I found it out 2 months ago. I'm 37 years old, been in the building industry for 20 years. Yeah, I just found it out 2 months ago. I've always turned it with the open end out.
That doesn't make intuitive sense to me, but okay.
Well, it does in a sense. Rushing water erodes.
Sure.
If you create a dam to slow it down and just allow it to just kind of spill over, it's not going to erode.
I guess the question then is the goal to get it as fast and as far away from the house as possible, or is it to get it to spill over?
Well, the goal is to get the water away from the house.
Yeah.
And the grade of the dirt does that. But you don't want it rushing away from the house and create a gully where you've got to bring dirt in and fill it back in and put grass and what have you back in.
Okay.
So.
Well, it's new to me.
Yeah, isn't it?
Okay.
And that's another thing, you know, the importance of the drainage in relation to the slabs.
Okay.
The slabs are elevated to the point of when we finally grade the yard, that the water will run away from the house into these swells or down the hills, whatever the case may be. Because your main goal is you don't want water
pulling around your foundation,
or even getting high enough to get into the house. Because if it gets into the house, then you've got
many other problems.
You've got damage, you've got mold, you've got, you don't want that. Anything that concerning the house needs to go through Michelle. If you've got any questions or anything, should go through those with Michelle. She will get them to me. I can answer the questions by giving you a phone call or letting her know the answers, or if we need to meet again and if I'm not understanding your question, if we need to meet and look at the house to see what your questions are. Okay? You can call me. It's not a problem if you have a question. They just tell me to do this. I don't have a problem with you calling me. No. And I'll get you a card before you leave today.